Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about 10 signals that you give off that tell a narcissist you can't be manipulated anymore. See, narcissists are very perceptive. They study you, they watch you, and they know. They know when you run cold, they know that, you're starting to see through them. So I'm going to give you 10 signals that let a narcissist know that you are starting to see through them and that you can't be manipulated. Number one, when you stop arguing with the narcissist. When you stop arguing with the narcissist automatically thinks, why aren't they even disagreeing with me? Why, when I gaslight them or I lie directly to them, why aren't they telling me that, you're lying and everything? They're starting to not care. This is when the narcissist is going to panic. When they start to realize that you don't care, that you're not even arguing with them anymore, that's when the narcissist is going to panic, all right? Next time the narcissist will realize that you're starting to see through them is when you become extremely cold. Sometimes when you're with a narcissist, they project off so much toxicity and they actually make you react the way they would, and you start being cold or you start distancing yourself from the narcissist because all they are is aggravation. They fight with you all the time or they run silent on you. So now you may start going silent. You may start giving them the cold treatment and not engaging with them. Right there, that's letting the narcissist know that you are starting to see through them, that you can't be manipulated anymore, all right? Next, a narcissist is going to realize that you're starting to see through them is when you pull away, all right? And when you start to pull away from the narcissist, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll say something to you like, "Do you still love me?" Well, tell me, do you still love me? They want to be sure that they still have you hooked. This is what they do. And a lot of times, too, what they'll do is if they've cheated on you, they'll also ask you that right after they've cheated on you. They'll say, "Do you still love me?" They want to make sure you're still there. They want to make sure that they're not losing you, okay? Or some of them will just say, "Oh, I love you," or something after they've ghosted you and cheated on you. They come back with a text and say, "Oh, I love you," right? This is to keep you hooked because now they're in a little panic. They know they disappeared. They know they cheated on you. So now they've got to, re-up the love bombing again to make sure that you don't see through them and you don't start walking away from them. They don't want to ever feel that they're losing you, all right? These are things that they do. What's another sign to a narcissist that you're starting to see through them? When you start to realize you don't want to see them, you make excuses, you're busy, all right? Sometimes you may become busy in your life and now you're not making the narcissist a priority anymore because you see that the narcissist isn't making you a priority. And narcissists hate when you're not chasing after them. So when you start to pull away, you stop chasing them, you start making excuses why you can't see them because now you realize that you're not going to make them a priority anymore. What's that narcissist going to do? They're going to come on fast and furious to try to reel you back in. Again, here comes that love bombing. Here comes that "I love you so much. Oh, I got to see you." They want to know that they've got you hooked again. So when a narcissist sees you pulling away, you making excuses, you not making them a priority, they're going to try to get you where you're thirsty again and you're chasing after them and you're blowing up their phone and you're always looking for them. But when you start to stop looking for them and you start getting into your own life and now you're making the excuses because you're making yourself a priority, now they panic because you're no longer chasing after them. And again, that round of love bombing, that second round of love bombing is going to be, fast and furious to try to reel you back in, all right? What's another sign to a narcissist that you're starting to see through them? When you don't want to be on the phone long with them, okay? Now you realize this person is on the phone with you for hours. They're telling you everything they want to hear. And then all of a sudden they switch up where they start to get cold or they're distant. And now you realize, you know what? I'm not going to make myself so available. I'm not going to be on the phone with them for hours. There's other things that I could be doing over here. I could be doing things in my house. I could be doing things with my kids. And when you start to, not want to be on the phone with them for hours or something like that, again, it sends a panic signal, not a panic attack, but a panic signal to the narcissist that, they're starting to lose you. Okay, they're starting to lose you. You don't want to be on the phone for hours. You don't want to talk for hours. The narcissist is, wearing you out. They're exhausting you. It's a lot of talk. And you're starting to see they were like that in the beginning, but then they switched up. So now you feel like, you know what? I don't want to be on the phone for hours with them because I'm starting to lose interest. So now the narcissist knows you're starting to lose interest because you don't want to be on the phone with them for hours. All right. The other thing too is they're going to start to accuse you of seeing somebody else. They're actually going to accuse you of what they're doing. They're going to project onto you what they actually do. So when you stop giving that attention and you stop chasing after the narcissist, they automatically think that you have somebody. Oh, you must have somebody else. Oh, you don't want to be on the phone for hours. Oh, you can't see me, over the weekend. Oh, you must have somebody. You must have another guy coming over there, or you must have another girl coming over there. See, they automatically think that when you start pulling away and you're not on the phone with them for hours, and now you don't care about whether you see them, now you're starting to get disgusted. You're starting to pull away. Automatically, what they'll do is they're going to accuse you of having somebody else or cheating. This is what they love to do. They love to accuse you of cheating. And I went through this when I was with the malignant narcissist, and I said, I have to go. I have things to do. I have responsibilities. Automatically, he went off on me, and he's like, oh, you got another guy. Oh, you got another guy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I have responsibilities that I have to do. I have to do this. I have to do that. I can't be lingering and be, over here and stuff like that. But automatically, because you have other responsibilities, because you're not bending over backwards for them anymore, they automatically assume that you have somebody else. And that's where they start to panic as well and figure, you're not interested in them because you're not, chasing after them anymore. All right. Next. The other thing that signals to the narcissist or makes them panic that you're starting to see through them is that you no longer are looking for them. You're no longer, questioning them. You've become numb to it all, and you're no longer, thirsty for them and chasing them. And sometimes you may even go silent yourself. You start to get silent because a lot of times when you went back and forth with the narcissist, all you were doing was arguing with them because they never own the truth. They never take accountability. So now you may start to go silent yourself. And what happens when you go silent with the narcissist? They start to say things to you like, oh, why are you so silent? Oh, what's going on with you? Why are you so silent? Oh, what are you playing games? All right. So the thing with the narcissist is you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're damned if you sit there and you try to get clarity out of them and they gaslight you and they lie to you. You're damned if you don't fight with them, and you're damned if you go silent on them. All right. Automatically, when you go silent on them, that puts them in panic mode because that now they feel like you don't need them. Okay. Silence is your power. All right. And when you go silent, narcissists hate that because it shows the narcissist that you could live without them. And they don't ever want to think that you could live without them. All right. So, they will panic that you're starting to see through them. When you back off from the narcissist, you start to be a little bit more quiet, more silent, not fighting anymore. That's going to signal to the narcissist that you don't need them and you're not even, you couldn't care less. All right. Now, next sign that will let a narcissist know that you're starting to see through them is now you're not as open as you used to be with the narcissist. Now you're starting to see a little bit that this narcissist is toxic. They're not who you thought they were, okay? They're not who you thought they were. And what is that going to do to you? That's going to make you more guarded, all right? Now you're going to hold back a little bit. You're not going to tell the narcissist so much about your personal life. You're not going to open up like you did before in the beginning because you didn't realize who or what you were dealing with. You thought they were like you. You thought they were transparent. But as the relationship goes on, you start to see that that narcissist is toxic as fuck, okay? And it's going to make you slowly shut down, shut your mouth, because now you're starting, you worry with them. You worry what you tell them, because now you're starting to realize that the trust you had for them is no longer. Now you can't trust them. So you're going to start to not be so open about everything that you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're doing. And that's going to send that narcissist into panic mode that you're holding back. Narcissists don't want you to be holding back. They want to know everything that's going on in your head and in your mind and what you're doing. So when you start to hold back, that's going to send a message to that narcissist that you're starting to see through them and that you don't trust them. And that's going to make the narcissist panic. Again, they're going to start with that love bombing to try to reel you back in because they want you to trust them so that they can manipulate you. All right. So they're going to tell you, baby, I love you so much. What could I do? What could I do to make you trust me? All right. I had a narcissist do this. Man, he tried so hard to get me to trust him. All right. He was like fast and furious trying to get me to, what could I do to make you trust me? What could I do to make you trust me? And I was like, nothing. I said, it takes time to get to trust somebody. And he got so pissed off when I said that. Okay. Because they don't want to waste time, because they know in time you're going to see them for who they really are. All right. So they're going to try to love bomb. They want to always have you hooked. They don't want you pulling away. They don't want you indifferent. They don't want you not caring. All right. And when they start to see that the love bombing is not really working anymore, that you're starting to see through them, what is that narcissist going to do? They're going to go love bomb that other supply. Once they realize that things aren't working with you, you're not able to be manipulated, they're going to say, oh, this one's not able to be manipulated. Let me not waste my time. Let me go hit up that other person, that other supply. Maybe let me make sure that I got them in place because I see that this relationship is spiraling down. See, the narcissist knows before even the end of the relationship, the relationship's coming to an end. And that's why narcissists don't just jump into another relationship. They already had that relationship while they were with you, okay? This is what people don't realize. They say, oh, they jumped into another relationship. No, they didn't. They just moved over they monkey branched to the relationship that they already had with you that you didn't know about. So that other person is going to be love bombed. They're going to be, groomed and positioned in place because they see that you are now becoming a dead end, all right? That you are seeing through the narcissist. So when they realize the love bombing is not working on you, they're going to make sure it's working on somebody else, all right? And what these narcissists do is they generally want you to discard them, all right? Why do they do that? Because they don't want they don't want to live with the shame, okay? And this is where I saw somebody put out false information, all right? This is the difference between people that have been through it and people that are just regurgitating. I can't talk this morning, you guys, really early. People that are repeating the same things that they hear on the internet. Narcissists don't want to have to discard you, okay? I talked about that in one of my other podcasts about 2 weeks ago. They don't want to have to discard you. They want you to do a reverse discard where you discard them. This way, they don't have to live with the shame. The only time a narcissist will discard you is if they absolutely have to, because you're too much and they can't juggle the two supplies, all right? You're calling, you're texting, you're expecting them to be always over there, all right? When they get to that point where they just can't do it, that's when they may discard you. But in general, if they could keep you around and you just shut your mouth or you didn't put pressure on them, then they would keep you around. So what they want you to do is they want you to do a reverse discard, where when you get to that point where you see through that narcissist wants you to be disgusted and to, walk away from them. This way they could play the victim. All right. Oh, you didn't give a chance to the relationship. You didn't give relationship a chance. This is all up in your head. They can guilt trip you by you walking away. Now you walked away and you're saying, did I do the right thing? Maybe they did care. And now they can come off scot-free and tell everybody they didn't do anything, that you dumped them, that you had somebody. That's why you dumped them and did a reverse discard. This is what they're going to tell everybody. All right. You had somebody. That's why you walked away. That's why you let go of the relationship, all right? But they love it. They love it when you do a reverse discard. Narcissists don't like to discard first. They like when you discard, okay? And that's what, the fake phony copier, was talking about, narcissists like to be the first to discard. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. That shows that you haven't been through it, okay? See, there's certain things that people put out that as a survivor what is truth and what isn't, because you've lived through them. And the truth of the matter is narcissists want you 99% of the time to do a reverse discard so that they don't have to feel that guilt and they could put that guilt on you, all right? Because they don't want that shame, all right? So when a narcissist realizes it's a dead end, that you are seeing through them and they can't manipulate you anymore, that's when the narcissist is going to try to get you to get so disgusted that you end the relationship. And they'll do that by being indifferent to you. Once they realize that the love bombing doesn't work, now they'll be indifferent. Now they'll make excuses why they can't see you. They'll be spending more time with the new supply, not you. Then they're not going to want to be intimate with you. They're going to be there in body only. I remember towards the end of the relationship when I went through it, a lot of it's basically just having a body around. Okay. The person is just there, but you feel like they're not there. They're definitely not there in spirit. They're there in body only. They couldn't care less. And you just get to a point where you're like, you know what? I don't need this shit. Okay. I'm just going to end this because I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm not getting any love. I'm not getting any affection. I'm not getting any clarity. I'm not getting any, honesty. All I get is lies, gaslighting, excuses why they can't see me because they're going to see another supply. I don't need this shit, okay? So you get to that point and you're just like, you know what? I'm out of here and everything. So that's what happens. They'll wait for you to do a reverse discard, get you disgusted. And these are all the things that tell the narcissist that you can't be manipulated anymore, that, game over. At that point, it's game over. The narcissist mask doesn't work anymore because you see right through that mask. You see through that narcissist. You know that they are a fake, phony one. And at that point, you are just like, you are abandoning ship because there is no ship left to save, okay? So that's what happens when these are the 10 things that happen that signal to a narcissist. You see through them. That's going to cause the narcissist to panic, and they're going to know that their game is over. Okay? I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askgaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. If you're confused, you don't know if you're dealing with the narcissist, if they're covert, malignant, grandiose, and you need clarity, check out the link in the bio. You need advice and clarity. Also, you guys, check out my YouTube at the Game Exposed podcast. I have over 6,000 videos on there. TikTok is the Game Exposed, and Instagram is the Game EXP 777. And I'm sorry, Instagram is the Game EXP 123. and have a great day.